Hi, my name is Liz with Big Hairy Dog, and in just a minute here, we're going to start our next webinar, and that's going to be QuickBooks Point of Sale. So we will, it's pretty general, making a sale, and I will also be tacking on our X out and our Z out as well. If you guys, I will be keeping an eye on our questions section here. Feel free to type that, or you can raise your hand. If you raise your hand, I can unmute you from my end. You're able to go ahead and participate and just ask a question directly. If you do not have a mic, then please feel free to go ahead and use that little question tab out loud unless you prefer that I not. And our session is being recorded as well, so if anybody has to get up to grab a drink of water and they miss anything, this is going to be sent out to you. It does take us usually a little bit of time to get it posted to our website, but it'll also be available there on bighairydog.com. Okay, so again, my name is Liz with Big Hairy Dog. I'm a trainer here in the tech department. We're going to be getting started here in just a moment. Thank you so much. Okay, I think that is everybody that we had pre-registered, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And again, this is recorded if we do have any stragglers coming on in, or if you have people that need to be part of this that are not quite here just yet. All right, so we're going to get started. I'm going to open up my QuickBooks. Go ahead and move my controls out of the way. All right, so this is QuickBooks version 19. If you are on version 18 or below, there's not too much difference functionality-wise, but version 19 does have some cool extra little tricks. And if you're interested in learning more about version 19 or any upgrade, reach out to us. And we can go ahead and connect with Joanne. For version 19, I'm going to go ahead and sale directly. Now, depending on our company preferences and the tenders that we are accepting, you might not have all of these options. I am accepting, of course, cash, credit, check, gift card, and account. And you will find that for the account tender, you do not actually need to be integrated with QuickBooks. And needs me to repeat anything, please go ahead and raise your hand, and I will. I have no problem doing that. So some standards. Again, we can go ahead and customize this screen a little bit. These buttons on the side might be different than what you're seeing. We can, of course, use our customized brush on the bottom left-hand side, or we can right-click anywhere in the gray and we can customize buttons that are available. And here, we can customize our columns that are item number or description. So then just click. It's all right. You can choose, but zero. So we have a raised Dorothy. Tell this. How much do I need? See, I tried to go ahead and unmute you, but it looks like it's muted on your side. If you have a question, feel free to ask, or you can go ahead and type that out. Once I get an item onto my screen here, I get a few additional options. So of course, well, highlighted on the item itself, I can go ahead and make any last minute edits to the item. I can also return the item. You'll find that I like to go ahead and use my accept return button. This return item will return the item, but does not ask for a reference receipt. So I usually use this in case only. Go ahead and get our tennis ball back on the screen here. Under our price and discounts button, we can add a quick discount, a manual discount, and can choose a discount reason when we give manual discount. Oh, okay, so we weren't seeing the screen a second ago. Thank you so much for pointing that out, Dorothy. Can everybody discount screen right now? You should be seeing that 10, 15, 25, and 50% across the top. Got it. All right. So it looks like we might have a little bit of a lag here. So I'm going to just okay, that should be good. And now that's looking a little bit more my speed. All right, so we got our tennis ball back onto the screen, and I'm going to hit my quantity price discount button. And this is that pop-up that I was referring to. So these are our quick discounts. You can give that 10, 15, 25, or 50%. You can edit the actual price of the item, the quantity of the item, and we can also give a discount percent right down here. Now, this line item discount, we can actually, in our company preferences, require that users select a reason to use these manual discounts. So if I give a 15% discount, I might go ahead and also give it maybe it was just a coupon. There you go. We had a little coupon that we sent out, and so we're giving them a 15% discount. All right. And then just to cover our basics earlier, just in case the screen wasn't catching up with me, again, we can edit. You can also use the F5 button to edit items on sale. We can also use the return item button. Remember, this button here, our return item button that is under the item on the line, does not reference a receipt number. So that, if we click it, is just going to return the item. Emergency use only, I would say. We also have our quantities button. So I can go ahead and up the quantity here without having to jump into my quantity price discount. The remove, of course, will take the item off of my transaction. Depending on your setup, a lot of the times our tax ends up being right in front of that remove, so people think that this is how you remove tax from an item. But really, if you realize that an item was entered incorrectly, this is a non-taxable item and should not be taxed, then you want to just click into it and change that to non. Of course, I am signed in as sysadmin, so or as our administrator account, and I'm allowed to essentially do whatever I want. If we have individual users signing in, we want to be sure to check their permissions if that's something that they need to be able to do. All right. So I've been talking a lot, but I haven't really finished up this sale. So I'm going to get a few more items onto this transaction. And when we're done, we can tender this transaction. Split tenders in point of sale are extremely easy. And as for which tender goes first, that's going to be whatever tender our client hands over. There is no set rule for which one needs to be taken first. I'm going to go ahead and accept the cash first. And I'm going to say maybe we only had $20 in cash on us at the time. We can use our tender buttons. As you can see, I'm a little bit more accustomed to just typing in myself, though. We're going to hit that save. And we get the green check mark in front of whatever form of tender we have listed on the transaction. And you can see those tenders start to break out here. From there, I'm going to select credit. And I'll just say, let's let that default to the full amount. And I'm going to hit that Visa. Now you'll notice I have to hit the Visa. I have to tell it what kind of card that we're using. And that is because I am not directly integrated with merchant services. This is a demo system, so this would replicate more of a standalone. So if you have a separate credit card processor, you will have to select the credit card type. If you want accurate credit card reporting, like on your Z-out, you want to be able to see how much we took in Visa versus MasterCard, then it's going to be important that we ask our customers, how are you going to pay today? Of course, if you are directly integrated with your merchant services, you will not have to select a card. Essentially, we're going to say that you will accept the payment. We're going to say authorize now is what the button says, and the PIN pad will handle the rest. I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of there. You'll notice now that we're all done and my amount is zero, my amount due is zero, I have my save an email, save only, and save and print come alive. That's the only time that these will be available if we dealt with all of the outstanding tender needed. If we needed to remove a form of tender, I could click into it and just click remove. When you're integrated, that will say void, and it will void that transaction. And so I'm going to go ahead and then say, instead of credit, perhaps I will do account. In order to do account, I do need to have a customer listed. All right. So I'm going to charge to account and save. And right now, I'm not going to go ahead and give them a credit limit. That is something we can set up later. All right. But again, we are all set and ready to go. Remember, if you are planning to use the Save an Email feature for QuickBooks, we need to have Outlook, the actual application, not web-based Outlook, but we have to have Outlook, the app, on our computer. And it does have to be open, and we have to set it as our default email in our preferences. Other than that, setting it as your default and having Outlook open, that's all you have to do. Then when we hit Save an Email, it's going to attach the receipt as a PDF to an email, and our sales associates hit send. That is it. For right now, I'm going to go ahead and save and print. I'm going to preview this first, and that's about it. So I have my receipt here. I was toying with adding a signature line. Right now, there's not really the need for a signature line on this particular transaction. I was building that into my AR transactions, though. So I'm going to exit this. And currently, I have my system set up to prompt for a gift receipt. This is in workstation preferences. We can have the system prompt for a gift receipt after every transaction. And I'm just going to say no for now. And I have customer loyalty turned on. My rewards program is turned on. So I earned a reward for this particular customer. And I have it set to show the sales associate so that my sales associate can remind my customer, hey, you have $5. Be sure to come back and spend that with us really soon. It expires on this day. And there we go. A pretty standard transaction. We did a little fun stuff with our tenders, but that's about it. A big thing that I want to go ahead and make sure that I show people as well, under the I want to sell, this is where we have our gift cards, gift certificate, and miscellaneous items. For those of you that have gone through training with me, you'll know that the miscellaneous item is something that is definitely for emergency uses only, and for our accountants in the room, they're going to hate this. So when you have a customer and unfortunately they're upset and we just need to get them out the door, we need to make the situation right. We can always sell a miscellaneous item, give it a price. See, I don't know what the item actually is at the moment, but I know it's probably going to be around $5. I'm going to hit OK. That's about it. I can sell this miscellaneous item. I can get the money. You'll notice, of course, there is no cost associated with this item. So there is my first little pitfall. My cost of goods is now going to be off unless I correct this item. And of course, my second pitfall is my quantities will not be correct. Although I sold this miscellaneous item, it does not pull the quantities from the actual item that walked out of my store. And so we want to go ahead and do our best to perhaps write down some information about this. If you're going to use the miscellaneous item, I might also go ahead and bring up my item description. If I can find it. There it is. My item description, so that that way I can go ahead and actually type in some of the features, some of the information that I have that I at least can see visually for the item that is leaving my store. All right, I'm going to go ahead and say we took that as cash, and this time I'll use our cash button, and I'm going to hit save. It's going to go ahead and remind us to give that change. For now, I'm going to hit save only. Here is that change pop-up window. Say OK. And one thing I realized I'm missing from my screen, sales history. If you don't have that on there, definitely helpful. We can go directly from making a sale to my sales history, just like that. And you can go ahead and highlight on a receipt and show details. Actually, I think that is our latest one there, show details. And so if I wanted to, I can go ahead and reprint this particular item. I can customize these columns. And again, really the important thing about being able to come back to a miscellaneous item is hopefully we're going to find the correct item. We will return our miscellaneous and we will sell the correct item so that we get our inventory correct and I get my cost of goods sold report correct. All right. And so that's my history. Another thing I like to do from history, let's say somebody just bought a t-shirt. They walked out of my front door and then turned right around and said, actually, I bought a medium, and let's be honest I need to be honest with myself, I need a large. And so if that's the case, maybe they threw away their receipt. I can jump into my sales history, find their receipt for them if they threw it away, and I can accept return. Let's actually come over here. I'm going to highlight on this particular receipt, and I will accept return. So it's going to show me all of the items that were on that receipt. In order to process this return, I'm going to select return, and the return quantity will default to 1. Excuse me. Let me stand corrected. The return quantity is going to default to the amount that's on the transaction. Be careful if they're only returning 1. We're going to go ahead and enter that right there, and I will add selected items. And there we go. And this is what I love about being able to do that either from our sales history or using our accept return. That is referencing that receipt number, and you'll see I have that discount price. So I gave them 15% discount on that transaction. So I'm not returning to them the full price of this item. I'm returning to them the $18.70. From here, I can go ahead and say I'm returning that as cash, or if I'm going to use account, then I want to be sure and look at that. Liz Martinez is on the screen because we referenced a transaction. So let's go ahead and say it's going to go onto her account, and that warning, this sale actually put this customer over the limit to go ahead and earn those rewards. So these rewards will be removed. Okay. And so if I'm saying I'm going to go ahead and just give this back on her account, essentially kind of make it a little bit like for credit, we're not going to go ahead and give you back cash at this time. I can go ahead and make that payment on account. Of course, we can continue to sell on this receipt as well. So if we wanted to go ahead and share that will up. So we can go ahead and do that via the account. I might actually say I'm going to do that in cash to return our rewards. So our amount due is 0. Cash is going to be what we're giving this back as. And if we want to change that, we can select that form of tender. For now, I'm going to say one more time, save only. There you go. Give them back their change, and we're all done. Time I don't have on hand for this item, so it's asking me if I'm sure, and I am. Further into the I want to, we can convert this, say, funds to complete this transaction, or I just want to put it on hold and maybe do a little bit more shopping. Well, actually, this would be maybe we're putting on hold for just a moment. We're coming back in a few days. I know I want to go ahead and add more to this, and maybe we'll put a little deposit down. That's a better example for an order. If somebody just wants to shop around a little bit that same day, we can always put the actual receipt on hold here. And then we can go ahead and always jump into held receipts in order to pick that up. Got it. Okay. So we got a little bit of a lag again. I'm going to open up my I want to one more time just to make sure we got that. Convert to sales orders is down here, and that's how you can convert this to a sales order, layaway, or work order. If you have in your company preferences selected to not use these documents, they will be grayed out for you. The other thing I wanted to go ahead and show you guys is that we can change our tax location for the entire receipt. So if we have those tax exempt customers that need to, and we realize that maybe all of their paperwork hadn't gone through, or for whatever reason it is charging them tax, we can change our tax location on the entire receipt, and we can set that whole receipt to exempt. And of course, make sure that our managers, our owners of the store, that they know what's going on, and make sure that it's okay to do that before we do that. Again, going to be reserved for maybe a manager or our system operator. We do also have the ability to change dates on receipts. Usually this is something that's only done if we need to correct a mistake. And usually that kind of comes when people start reversing receipts, especially when you're integrated with financials. If you are integrated with QuickBooks Financials, essentially reversing any document is going to cause you more harm than good. We would want to go ahead and kind of go the long way of creating the return and then recreating the sale instead of just reversing it. Really quick, I did want to go ahead and show you guys that accept return button. We did get a chance to ring up a return through our sales history, but here on a brand new receipt waiting for my next customer, they come up and they tell me I would like to return something. Accept return. I love the accept return because it requires that we have some kind of receipt information. Now, by default, QuickBooks does print barcodes at the bottom of their receipt, so you can scan that barcode directly into our receipt here. And, oh, actually, let's see if I have a receipt number 2 at least. Oh, I'm pretty far past that. All right, so we have a few transactions. If I just hit this spyglass, if I just hit the magnifying glass, that's going to open this up in chronological order. So if it's early in the day, you just walked out and you threw away the transaction, this would be very easy to try and find for us. If not, if you do need to start looking at items, then you're going to want to jump into your sales history. This only gives you total. We can go ahead and highlight on a transaction. And again, we're going to do the same thing. We have to go ahead and select that we are returning it, and it will default to the full amount. In this case, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Add selected items. You'll notice this receipt, I did not actually have a customer on it originally. That's why I didn't pull any customer information. But I can go ahead and give them something, essentially the same exact one. Perhaps this one was a little scuffed up or damaged, so we're just switching them out. And so I can go ahead and just save only. Looks like I actually owe them a little bit of change on this. All right. I'm so sorry about that, guys. Looks like I went ahead and got kicked out of our audio, but you guys should be able to hear me now, hopefully. All right. All right. Hopefully that was the last of it. Again, I apologize, everyone. Thank you so much for your patience. And so we have our exchange here. We still owe them a little bit of money back, a little penny back. I might actually go ahead and just say, I'll give you that in cash if you want. But we'll go ahead and save only, or we can save and print. That reminder to give that penny, and we're all set. All right, so for those of you that are processing gift cards through Intuit Merchant Services, of course, we can go ahead and utilize our gift card. For those of you who do not process gift cards through Merchant Services, you'll find that this is still an option that you can use. In company preferences, it doesn't automatically gray out. If you say that you accept gift cards and gift certificates, like I do here, continue, it will allow you to use this form of tender. But be very careful because this does not check against anything. So if I tell it that I'm using gift certificate 123456, unless I have an external process of ensuring that not only does that gift certificate exist, but it has enough to cover my 2365, I'm essentially just letting them take this product out. So again, you want to be careful with that. And if you have not paid attention to that and it's just kind of on your screen, again, we might want to hop into company preferences and remove it as forms of tender that you accept. But again, right now that we're all done, I can save and print. I'm only getting this print options menu because I have it selected. I want to be able to change my receipt type at time of printing, but this for most of you is going to be automatic. And there we go. And also don't forget that you guys can add your logo. If your logo is not already there, that is something extremely easy that you can add, and it adds a great personal touch to your receipts. All right. And that is pretty much it for some of our standard issues. So we're going to go ahead and be able to get items onto the receipt. We can go ahead and scan, or we can type in our information here. Over here on the side, cashier and associate. So for those of you who have your unique individual user signed in, the cashier does default to whomever is signed in. And the associate we can change. Normally you see this being used in stores that have commission-based structure. So the person who rings you up might not be the person who gets credit for the sale. The person who gets credit for the sale is the associate. You'll notice I also have my ship items. So the system does have the ability to grab a shipping address at point of sale, and we can even enter a shipping amount. This ship by and tracking information is essentially placeholders, but QuickBooks Point of Sale can integrate with QuickBooks Shipping Manager if you guys do a lot of shipping from point of sale. If it is really just one or two every now and again, I wouldn't say it warrants the price tag. Cancel that. We have a give discount button on the side. Go ahead and get something here. Target, continue, give discount. This is going to get discount on the sub. Don't give the like a count reason anymore. Okay, looks like we got a little frozen again. Sorry about that, guys. Let me go ahead. There we go. All right. Again, I'm so sorry about the technical difficulties we're experiencing here today, guys. Seems like everybody's on the internet today. But one more time, I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys our give discount button, discount on the subtotal. I'm going to enter in that percentage one more time just in case it didn't make it on the video. I can close here. And now that's going to be down over here in my totals section. And this is where our shipping information would also be. So this show messages tab is going to be able to pull out any post-it notes that you guys have all set. So if your staff needs those little reminders, hey, don't forget that this is on sale. We can also set up promos to be automatic. But if you're running a manual sale and you want to remind people how to do something or how to process a return, that show messages is very, very convenient for our point of sale users. All right. So one more time, I'm going to do part of that in cash, and I'm going to do part of that in credit. This time I'm going to say American Express, and as soon as I click it, it should, about that. It's a little hard to see, but I have that deselected in company preferences. It doesn't actually gray it out for you. It just kind of makes it look like it's not a button anymore. Still has a little bit of a shadow, so I have a complaint on that. But we can still go ahead and hit our Visa, and we're all set. So now I can go ahead and save only or save an email. Remember, save an email. You want Outlook open, and it should be your default email service. Save only for now. Okay, so we've been through quite a bit on our point of sale side, what we can do, how to ring up items. One thing that we haven't touched on is quick pick items. So don't forget that this is something that you guys have available. I'm going to go ahead and add a quick group. Call that training. Now I can go and add items to my group. So pictures target. Add something else here. I think that one's already there. Let's add that guy. All right. So my pitcher's target and my pitcher's batter set, maybe these items are a little hard to go ahead and grab them, drag them all the way to the registers, and then drag them all the way to our customer's car. So instead, I'm going to set them up as my quick pick groups. And when people need them, I'm going to have someone ready to help them load. It's going to be moved to the front of the store, and they can come over to my register, and we can ring them out. So we get the customer on the transaction if we have a customer or if they're in our database. And one more time, we'll start that from the beginning since I just added those. We're going to hit our quick pick items. We can have multiple groups. You could even right click, rename, and rearrange, recolor these groups as well. So we pick the appropriate group, and then we have our list of items right then and there. So in order to get it on the screen, you're just going to click it and continue. We can actually go ahead and pin the quick pick group as well. Batter set and continue. And there we go. Great for, again, those really big items that are hard to move, or even those really tiny items that we are not going to take the time to tag. I don't expect my associates to tag every single lip gloss that's at the. I can have a generic lip gloss SKU in my quick pick item. All right, but now that again, we can go ahead and credit. This customer has some redeemable rewards. Would they like to? People can't actually redeem until maybe the next day or 3 days, or even after your return window is over. So I'm going to go ahead and save for later for now, and I'm going to charge that to MasterCard. Now I can save and only, or save and print. Right now I'm going to go ahead and save only. We earned some more rewards. I might have my rewards set up too low. There we go. All right, so that's all set. We've ran through a few transactions. If you guys have any questions or any specific instances that are kind of throwing you guys off, please, ask the question and we'll make our way through them. But the other thing I wanted to go ahead and show you was our end of day. So our end of day is going to default to the last report that we ran. So if the last report we ran was a Z-out store close, that's what it's going to default to this time around. Remember that an X-out is essentially just that. It's a status report. You can run this at any time for any time period, as many times as you want in one day, just a status report. Where a Z-out is us officially closing the drawer for that day. And we have two options for a Z-out. We have a Z-out store close, which does not give you the chance to enter your drawer count. And then we have, of course, Z-out drawer count, which gives you the option to go ahead and enter the denominations of bills and assumes that we're going to go ahead and take some money back out to the bank for a deposit. First, I want to show you my Z-out drawer count. And we're going to run that for today. Now, if this is truly end of day, I might also want it to back up my data. And I might also want it, for those of you that have QuickBooks Financials, on our server location, you will also be able to exchange with financials. Remember, when you run Exchange, that financials also needs to be open, just like Outlook would need to be open for you to run an email through it. Right now, because we're in training, I'm not going to check that, but I am going to run this Z-out, and I'm going to run the drawer count for today. We can go ahead and run this for a custom period in time. So if you're the only one who closes for your store and you want to take the weekend off, we can close for the weekend. All right. So my begin amount. Your begin amount is going to default to whatever our last leave amount was. So the last time I closed my drawer, I put that I was leaving $100. So I'm defaulting to begin my drawer with $100. If that's not accurate, I can retype into it. But for me, that is correct. Now over here on my count, I can go ahead and hit my count button. And essentially, you just need to put in the physical denomination of bills. You have two 100s, we're going to put in 2. And let's go ahead and maybe add a little bit more to that. Okay. And I'm going to hit OK. Now, I'm probably going to be a little off, but that's about it. Your marks, you can add them, but they are not required. And then our leave amount. So you can enter that leave amount. Again, it's going to go ahead and kind of default to what you had in there before. If you're the kind of industry where we leave 150, it's always going to be 150. That's going to work out perfectly. If it changes every single night, unfortunately, we do have to just train our people to go ahead and type right back into that. All right, so I'm going to hit OK. And there you go. So my count is a little over. If you go ahead and hit no, you can go back and recount. Yes, we're just going to continue on without recounting. This is showing, this is selectable for me because I don't have the defaults set up in my workstation preferences. But again, a lot of you guys might already be defaulting to your receipt column or letter printer. I'm going to select letter just because it's a little bit easier for us to read here. All right, and of course, then we have our Z out. We can print this. If I just close it, it will then live in my drawer count history. I'll show you exactly where that is. But you can see exactly what's been going on today, how many sales, how many returns, and the further we go down a little bit, just trying to make sure there's no lag. All right, perfect. A little bit further down here is that media count. Again, you're only going to go ahead and get this on an X out drawer count. For now, I will close this. And like I mentioned, you're going to be able to find that under Reports, View Drawer Count History. And there we go. There's my history for my drawer count. Close this. All right. Remember, I held a receipt in the middle of our webinar earlier. That receipt's going to hang out right there until I deal with it. So I can see that I only have one, and it's for today, and there it is. If you take a look at your receipts, I'm pretty notorious for leaving them in there and hopping off and every now and again, or they've probably already been back. All right. Coming back to the end of the day, I do want to go ahead and be able to also show you for just today, and I'm going to hit start. No need to put it in any denomination and currency information. This is just going to look at all of my sales for the last year, also all of my tenders and my credit card listings. It's essentially that exact report that we were just seeing minus that currency denomination. Close that. All right. And so with that, we've kind of gone over our basics, so we can go ahead and create that receipt. We know how our different options for returning that receipt, 2 of which are going to require a receipt number. The other one is just going to allow you to return. And actually, while we have a few seconds, I want to go ahead and touch base on that one more time. Pop right back into our receipt to add our item. So if I just hit return item, you see no reference, no receipt number, it just returns the item. So if we have to use this in a pinch, what I've seen some people do, and I am liking it more and more, is they charge a restocking fee. So we set up a discount and we call it restocking. If you have any questions on creating manual discounts, give us a call. It's super quick, super easy. For now, I'm going to just say multi and say, okay, there we go. But again, it's an easy way to give them back a little less and charge them essentially a restocking fee. All right. But other than that, we've gone through our sales, receipts, tendering, split tendering, save an email. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to show you. I don't have Outlook on this particular workstation here. But if you have any questions on setting that up, or if you already have Outlook on your computer and want to be able to do this, again, give us a call. That's something really quick that we can help you out with. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask. I'm going to hang tight here for a little bit, but other than that, I think that's going to conclude our webinar. Thank you everyone for your patience. I understand we are experiencing some technical difficulties throughout this webinar, but I will do my best to try to go ahead and correct the video where we can, and we'll send this out to you guys as soon as possible. Just make sure that I do this. Okay, and so that's my email, and just in case this is the first time hearing my voice for any one of you guys, this is Liz with Big Hairy Dog. I'm a trainer here, and if you have any questions about your QuickBooks point of sale, feel free to email me those questions. If they are quick, I will try to get back to you, usually same day, if not the next business day. And if it's not so quick, we'll definitely get you on the board so a technician or myself can go ahead and help you out. Thank you so much, everyone.